Los que sacrificaron, les doy gracias. Esta canción se escuchará en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América. Esta canción se escuchará en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América.
Sí, nuestros abuelos han estado en esta tierra mucho antes de que las fronteras existieran. Siglos de colonialismo, opresión y destierro nos empujó al exilio económico. Y todavía tratando de sobrevivir en este país, somos presas de persecuciones, racismo y división. Nobody's standing up. ¿Dónde están los líderes? Nobody's standing up. ¿Dónde están los líderes?
Quiero un nuevo horizonte, de ahí seguimos pa'lante, cámara.
Esta día tan bonita, yo me siento bien. Yo te traigo una medicina para ponerte en el alma, escuchen.
Yo quiero un nuevo horizonte,
ahí nada más.
de ahí seguimos pa'lante, cámara.
La bahía de San Francisco, linda tierra en donde nací. Por sus calles llénale ritmo lo que es la salsa rica. Aprendí.
Yo quiero un nuevo horizonte, de ahí seguimos pa'lante, cámara.
Mestizo chicano, unos me dicen mexican americano. No te confundes porque todos somos hermanos.
Esta canción se escuchará,
Lo que te digo es la verdad.
en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América. Esta canción se escuchará.
Soy americano,
En la voz de América.
de los Estados Unidos,
Mi corazón la cantará.
de México,
Soy la voz de América.
del Caribe,
Soy la voz de América.
de Centroamérica,
Soy la voz de América.
de Suramérica.
Soy la voz de América.
Soy americano.
Been into all kinds of worlds, that is filled of all kinds of girls. Played his games from Boston, Mass to LA. He left his mark in every town, left broken hearts and lost and found. They don't love him, and then he's away. Well, I watched her change his style from a playboy to a child. Look at loving like new toys, playing house like girls and boys. And that's love calling. There ain't no way that you can fake it. Well, that's love calling. There ain't no way you can escape it. Well, that's love calling. There ain't no way you can get by. Well, that's love calling. You might as well give love a try. Now she and them, they never last. Running out 'cause she's too fast. Broken homes and empty pockets in her wake. She got a lot of grief, you see. Only care that she was free. Pretending love, but it was a genuine fake. Yeah, well, I watched him change her ways. She was totally amazed. How he loved her with such ease. But the like a summer breeze. And that's love calling. Ain't no way that you can fake it. Well, that's love calling. There ain't no way you can escape it. Well, that's love calling. There ain't no way
Tommy G. My friends and family said that this could never be, 'cause we're so different, you'll end up leaving me, yeah. But baby, don't you know that living in the past, a love like ours, we know it's gonna last. Smooth as chocolate.
Jesse James and Frank James, Billy Kid, all the rest. Supposed to be some bad cats out there in the West, but when they dug me and my gangster ways, they hung up their guns and made it to the grave. 'Cause I'm a gangster of love. Yes, 'cause I'm a gangster of love. When I walk down the street, all the chicks that I meet say he's a cool gangster of love. I robbed the beauty contest of the first place winner, found out in Hollywood with me, eating a big steak dinner, try to get her to go back to pick up her prize. She stood up and said, "You just don't realize that I'm a gangster of love. Yes, I'm a gangster of love." When I walk in a bar, girls from near and far say he's a gangster of love. Jump in my white horse Cadillac, cross the borderline, rope 65 girls, make them all the same time. Took 25 or 30, put them all on a freight, a reward for me in each and every state. Chef said, "You've married," in a very deep voice. "Yes, sir, brother sheriff, and that's your wife on the back of my horse, 'cause I'm a gangster of love." street. All the girls that I meet say he's a cool gangster of love.
Hey y'all, we're gonna have a party now. We're gonna get on down to the morning light. We're gonna bump till the break of day. Everybody come on, big fun tonight. Yeah, come on, everybody come on. Big fun tonight. We're gonna party with the ladies, y'all.
To get to know you, so I could show you that I could mend your broken heart. You could make a new start if you play your cards right. You'll find love and ecstasy. Big fun, we can have it all, girl. Just say you will. Big fun tonight. Girl, it will be so nice. Big fun, we can have it all, girl. Just say you will. Big fun tonight. Girl, it will be so nice. You can cash your chips in, you know I'll let you win, girl. Make a gamble with your heart. You'll find that my loving is worth more than a dozen than any guy that you would choose. Big fun, we can have it all, girl. Just say you will. Big fun tonight. Girl, it will be so nice. Big fun, we can have it all, girl. Just say you will. Big fun tonight. Girl, it will be so nice.
Big fun tonight, big fun tonight. Hey, we're gonna party down y'all hot. Big fun tonight, hey, we're gonna do it right. Big fun tonight, hey, we're gonna party down y'all hot. Big fun tonight, hey, we're gonna do it right. Ladies, and you love it. Hey, gonna party with the fellas tonight, are ya? Oh, say, gonna party with the fellas tonight, are ya? Oh, hey, big fun tonight, hey, we're gonna party down y'all hot. Big fun tonight, woo!
Big fun, we can have it all, girl. Just say you will. Big fun tonight. Girl, it will be so nice. Say you will. Big fun tonight.
There's a certain kind of person who doesn't take no for an answer. They don't walk. There's a certain kind of person who doesn't take no for an answer. They don't walk in quietly. They parade in, trailblazing, eyebrow raising, status quo breaking. Grazing greatness, braving hatred, and taking up space. Never got a seat at the table, so they can't sit and behave. They'd rather defy the rules and amaze. There's a certain kind of person who doesn't wait for greatness. They make it.
PlayStation.
Yes sir, what's up everybody? How is everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. This is the week of Thanksgiving. Hope everybody is being blessed today. Of course, this is your host of the Keyse Review. My name is Marquise Mundy, and you are watching the Keyse Review live. So, how you guys doing out there? I'm gonna give you guys a hand clap. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you guys for all the wishes. I had a family emergency last week, so unfortunately I wasn't able to stream last week. I thank everybody that texted me and checked up on me throughout the whole week and stuff like that. Really do appreciate it. It did mean a lot. You know, it sucked that I couldn't stream, but you know, when things happen with family members and stuff like that, you know, you got to take care of it. So thank you guys for the real wishes. I really do appreciate it. You know, all is not lost because pretty much we're doing all the content I was going to do last week this week, right? So let's give a hand clap for that. And we added some stuff for the week, man. But man, I am pumped, man. There's so much stuff going on. And it's like, it's, you know, even though it's like tech news is slowing down a little bit, because we enter the holidays and CES is right around the corner after the holidays, you still get some stuff that you can just dig up, you know? So it's going to be a good episode today, guys. I really feel that we're going to have an amazing episode. How everybody doing in the chat? How you guys doing? We got a few people on. Thank you for joining me this morning. How you guys doing? Hello. What's up? So, you know, we're going to get ready to start right now. And we got a few subjects here. And the few things I probably didn't write all of them down. I forgot, of course. But a couple of subjects that we have today. So Intel is releasing a server graphics processor. So that's something that I'm excited to talk about. AMD is finally coming out with their Zen 3 Epic CPU, aka Milan. Something else I'm really looking forward towards. We got a little bit of Nvidia versus AMD GPU comparison, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. OnePlus finally releases the Nord over to the United States. We're going to give a hand clap just for that right there. Yes, sir. So we got that going on right there, right? And then we got the Samsung S series of line of phones is rumored to have S Pen support, and that's going to get a boo. And I'm not happy about that, and I'll tell you why later on today. We also going to have, after that, we got some Samsung. We got some Sony and Microsoft news. We got some surprises coming from the most powerful console in the world. Doesn't look all that powerful, so we're going to be discussing a little bit with that. And then to end everything off, we're going to be talking about the new Apple products that has been unveiled and released to the public with the new Apple Silicone, and we'll go over some quotes and everything from that. So is everybody ready?
What?
Can I see you guys in the chat? Is everybody ready?
What?
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Okay.
So we're going to go to our first subject. Let me go ahead and start changing some of our slides over here. And first one on the block will be one of my favorite companies in the world, Intel. And we got a lot of chat. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not reading. Dope big shirt. Oh yeah, I've actually had it. I haven't worn it in a while, but I don't think I ever wore it on the podcast. But my sister gave this to me, and it says I have two big titles, Uncle and Godfather, and I rock them both. So that's the shirt I got. Of course, everybody that knows me personally knows I have a little nephew that I love. Maybe we'll get him on the Keyse review video one of these days, something like that. We'll figure something out. But I probably couldn't have him do the live stream because he'll just take over and there ain't gonna be no live stream. But yeah, so I see a bunch of highs. How everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing good today. Hope the lightning is good. I kind of changed the color code. I love this Elgato. I gotta put the pictures up. I've just been so busy, but I love this Elgato light, man. It cost me a little bit of money, but you know what? It really is awesome, man. And like I guess I can show you guys real quick. I can hit this thing and see. I can change the colors. Look, everybody say ooh, right? And then the brightness and stuff like that, so I can make it brighter and stuff like that. But I'll keep it around about 23%, or actually a little bit bright, maybe 20. There we go. Okay, so, but yeah, I love this Elgato light. It makes it look so much better. So the next step is going to be upgrading the camera system. So hopefully I can do that. Hoping in beginning of next year, if not before. I also got the rest of the schedule booked out for the episode, so we will be taking a break from the winter about 2 weeks or so, and I do have to run a virtual stream for celebration for that I mentioned a couple of weeks. We lost Patricia Shanahan, so I'm honored to help run that virtual event. So that will be one of the weeks as well, but. So it'll be about 2 or 3 weeks breaks we'll take from the Keyse review, and then we'll come back on the week of New Year's, and we'll start off with a lot of tech news because that's going to be the pre-introduction to CES 2021, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of stuff, and I can't wait because especially I've been trying to get a PlayStation, and to get the PlayStation to take the full advantage, you need to upgrade the TV. My TV, even though it's still kicking, my Sony TV right there, it is only a 1080p, and I'm gonna need a 4K now, preferably with HDMI 2.1. So we'll get there, but anyway, let's go ahead and get our first subject going. So we got Intel, and as you guys see right here, you have a lot of stuff as they like to call one API. So one API, basically what that is software that's developed for the toolkits. And what one API is supposed to do is be able to seamlessly share code to be able to run on hardware such as CPU, GPU, AI, and FPGAs. Basically what they like to call scalar, vector, matrix, and spatial. So that's one thing they're been working on heavily at the Blue Camp, and I mean the stuff that they're coming out with, I just can't wait because I know we haven't seen everything that Intel has yet, and AMD really been coming with it, but don't think Intel's been sleeping. But we have this. Oh, video. Let's play the video.
Android cloud gaming is gaining in popularity. As communication service providers and cloud service providers address this growing market, the key challenge is how to keep infrastructure and operational costs low while still providing a high level of performance, with both software and hardware playing a critical role. And that's where our rich suite of platform innovations, including server graphics technologies, come in. With our combination of Intel Xeon scalable processors, open-sourced and licensed software ingredients, and our new Intel Server GPU, our customers can now provide high-density, low-latency Android cloud gaming. This new GPU can support around 20 Android games per chip, or 80 per card with 4 GPUs, for a cost-efficient cloud gaming solution, while also delivering the low latency required for seamless cloud gaming experiences. With a low cost per stream, service providers like Tencent Games and others can use the Intel Server GPU to bring Android cloud gaming to more users with less infrastructure, reduced capital expenditures, and lower operating costs. Developers can easily create applications on the GPU through tools such as Intel's open source and proprietary software libraries, Media SDK, and FFmpeg. The GPU also supports AVC, HEVC, MPEG-2, VP9 encode decode, as well as decode support for AV1. The XG310 PCIe add-in card from H3C has 4 Intel Server GPUs, each with access to 8 GB of LPDDR4 RAM for a total of 32 GB per card. This considerable memory capacity, coupled with Intel's industry-leading media IP, enables a high-density, lower total cost of ownership solution. Now, let's take a look at the Intel Server GPU in action. Arena of Valor, created by Tencent Games, is one of the most popular mobile games on the market today and demands incredible performance. What makes this GPU stand out is its flexibility to scale to many game streams at the same time. With the H3C card that integrates 4 Intel Server GPUs, we're running 60 streams of flawless 720p at 30 frames per second. When 2 cards are used, we're able to stream 120 simultaneous users, still at 30 frames per second. The H3C XG310 card can support more than 100 simultaneous users in a typical 2-card system that includes Intel Xeon scalable processors, and up to 160 simultaneous users, depending on the specific game title and server configuration. All of this provides an incredible gaming experience. Ready, player, everyone!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know, some of that stuff is kind of like, a little bit technical, but that's what, I want the Keyse review to be all about, for everybody to kind of like discover what's going on with technology, not just what you use, but the things that help you use what you use, basically, if that makes any sense. So basically, this processor right here, if I'm playing a game on my phone, it actually goes on a server. It's not really on your phone. Some stuff installs on your phone, but it goes onto your server. So onto their server, I should say. So they'll play all the games on that. So this is big for a few reasons, because I've been waiting for Intel to come out with a discrete GPU. And even though this is not one that's going to be for my workflows, this is great news, because that means that Intel is very much on their way to creating discrete GPUs. And you can just kind of see this guy right here. And it's this is a PCI 3.0 interface, uses a 8-pin power plug. And as you saw in the video, it has 4 different graphics co-processors in it. So if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when I was showing you guys the processors and stuff for the thin and light notebooks, that's kind of like a modified version of that inside of this, and you can run over 100 games on it. So I'll go ahead and read my literature I have on here. The H3C XG310 is based on the XE-LP architecture that is made for Android cloud gaming. It has a SoC design, so the system on chip, so meaning everything is on the chip basically. 8 gigabytes of low power DDR4 memory for a total of 32 gigabytes per card. So 8 gigs on each chip. You're also going to have PCIe Gen 3, and you can do 100 simultaneous Android users or 100 simultaneous users altogether, and it's available now. I don't know how much it's going to cost, and this is not going to be something that's going to be available to the general public, but all good news nonetheless. Roger Kaduri, so you guys know I mentioned his names a couple times. He's the chief architect on Intel. He said today's a key moment. Did I get a what's calling it? No, I didn't. Okay, he said today is a key moment in our ambitious One API and XPU journey. With the gold release of our one, actually I think I did, or did I not? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. I know I had a slide on there. I forgot to put in my notes. Anyway, so today is a key moment in our ambitious One API and XPU journey. With the go release of our One API toolkits, we have extended the developer experience from the CPU programming libraries to the tools to include our vector matrix spatial architecture. We are launching the first data center GPU based on the XE-LP architecture focused on the fast growth cloud gaming and media streaming segments. And that was from Roger Kaduri. Yeah, guys, I'm very much excited for this product right here, because again, this is not a consumer product. This is not nothing we can buy, not a workstation project, but it does mean Intel is close for releasing more discrete processors, discrete graphics cards, and this is one of them right here, you know. So as you see, the 4 chips that's on there. But I'm very excited because next year is going to be the year that I'm going to be rebuilding my computer. And you know, I love my current computer, which I call Neo from the Matrix, Neo. But I love it, but it is long in the tooth, man. And I can tell you, I've been straining the heck out the processor, man. Even doing the live streams, because I'm running so much stuff at once, I'm just like, you know, straining a lot. So to see this, you know, and to see that something like this can do a lot of spatial, because it's got FPGAs in it, it's got the graphic chips in it, you know, you got the AI in it. It's just awesome to see all, you know, these technology rolled up to one, because I can only imagine when they come out with the actual gaming card and a professional high power card for consumers and professionals, how this thing's going to be. So I'm very excited for this to come out, to be honest with you. And I'm very happy that Intel is finally on the road to creating graphics cards again, because Intel is one of the biggest graphics makers, because they add graphics in a lot of their CPUs. But as far as like discrete graphics that's going to compete against AMD, that's going to compete against Nvidia, we haven't really been seeing it, you know. And the graphics processor on those CPUs sucks, honestly. So to have something like this come out, that's going to be awesome, man. So, but yeah, that's Intel. So hands up for Intel for me. Good job, Intel. Good job. So now to their rivals, AMD. Now AMD, as we all know, has been on a roll right now, and they have been, I think the last couple years been really showing that they're the top processing company in the world as far as your general purpose CPUs. So we have a little picture that I'll show you. So, and this is something I'm really, really happy about. So if you guys see this is a picture of the AMD EPYC processor. So these are server processors, workstation processors. So these will be in things that will do, so like if you just saw the GPU video that we just did from Intel, say they hook up to the machine with this processor on it. So with the processor, these things are built to be in a data center. They're built to be in workstations. So if you're doing music, if you're doing video production, things like that. These are not like your consumer grade processors. These are like top end processors. We can add like all the goodies on it. Your AVX processing for video, multiple threads. I mean, these things are not cheap and they're very expensive. And the reason why I'm excited about it is because, again, next year I'm going to be rebuilding my workstation. It's going to be new parts. So the EPYC line, because the chip I got in Neo right now, I do have a workstation grade processor, but it's not full on, so it was expensive. I think this chip, and I actually upgraded for cheap, but the original price of the chip I have in there now is like $600-700, and these are starting off at that price for the cheapest one. So you have these EPYC processors that will be able to work wonders with your workflow, especially if you're doing it in the server where you have a lot of clients and everything like that. The EPYC is going to get you done. So here's some of the benchmarks. So as you see right here, I forgot, did I write in the notes where I got this picture from? No, I didn't write it where I got the picture from, but this is the new Zen 3 architecture, which is codename Milan. This is specific processor is going to be the EPYC 7713, and it's rumored to have 64 cores, which will simultaneous multi-thread to 128 threads. 2.4 gigahertz base clock and a 3.53 gigahertz boost clock, and about 256 megabytes of L3 cache and 32 megabytes of L2 cache. Why is that important? So the L2 and L3 cache has to deal with storing memory and stuff like that for the processor to do calculations in and out real fast before it goes on to RAM. So especially on your L3 is usually very, very, well, L2 is crucial too, but L3 is real crucial because that's usually the last thing it touches before it goes out to your RAM. But as you can see right here on the video, or the picture, this one has, whatever machine this is, has two 64 core graphics CPUs on it. And you see another code name right here, Genesis. So that could be a firmware. I'm not sure because it's all like, I believe this is like Japanese. And then you can see all the instruction set. So when you guys running like video and media and stuff like that, it's actually doing all this stuff. You guys, you don't know what it is, that's the stuff it's doing right there. And then you can see it supports ECC memory, I'm sorry. Something that I'm highly thinking about getting because the thing with ECC, so you guys saw especially that disaster on my birthday where everything just start crashing. ECC will help prevent a lot of that stuff, and even though it's expensive, that's the kind of stuff you get for a workstation when you're doing critical work, because everybody knows your work is everything. In your computer, you want to be super stable at all times, 24/7, whenever you have to do work at a moment's notice. So that's some technologies that's on AMD. We'll go over to the next slide here. You also see this CPU1 AMD right there, advanced micro devices, 3.5 gigahertz speed, 64 bit capable, AMD Zen, and then that catch right there, the what's that, the L2? I'm not even sure what that number is actually. I'm not sure what that number is, but that's pretty much for the EPYC stuff right there from AMD. So I'm very excited for that. So this could be something I could, well, not this particular one because that sucker's going to be an arm and a leg and 5 kids, but I'll get the cheaper version of it, of that. So good job, AMD. Glad to see you guys coming in into the workstation space. So that is awesome. So now for our next one, we have Nvidia versus AMD. So last week I was going, if I would have had the show, I would have talked about just a little precursor to what I was hearing rumors about for the performance. But this week we actually got hard numbers this week. So we have a video to play for you from AMD. They have released a new video, and I'll play it right here. And the cool thing is that it shows a lot of the graphical horsepower that these new AMD cards has, and especially if you're a gamer, this is going to be real big for you. So let's go ahead and we're going to make this big screen and we're going to play the video. How'd you guys like that stuff right there, man? That was pretty cool. I like that video right there. So the biggest thing with that is how clean it's sold. Basically, you didn't really see any tearing or anything like that. You didn't see any jagginess. I love the God lights. I don't know what it is about the God light, the God tracing or whatever they call it. That thing's awesome. But you know, AMD came to play, man. Like AMD ain't like, they ain't up for no stuff, man. They over here to play, and they've been playing because they saying that the 6800 was even beating the RTX 3070 by 10% in certain benchmarks, and we'll get to those benchmarks now. So you have the two graphics cards. So these are just two of them. So this is the 3080, and this is the 6800 XT right there. And then we'll go ahead and pull these up. Oh, sometimes I gotta move my, I think my Bluetooth thing is like, I probably gotta move it up. Maybe I'll move it up to my hub up here because it seems like it'd be lagging sometimes. But here's some of the benchmarks right here. So you'll see the some of the stuff. So you'll see the XT, the RX 69, which is not out yet. So this is just one I just kind of found. So you see that one's right there on the score. So, and that's Windows 10 DirectX 12. Now this, from what I understand, this particular slide was a was before when the card came out and they can really test them. So here's some of the other benchmarks right here. So if you can see, so you see right here you have the two of the Nvidia cards up here, right? So you got the RTX 3090 and the RTX 3080. Now notice the FE at the end. Those are Founders Edition. So those are usually overclocked, meaning that the clock speed's a little bit faster than the base product. So these are stock 6800 XT and 6800. So if you look at those, so look, this one between that and the 3800, the 3080 FE, that's only a 4-frame difference. You're not going to notice that 4-frame difference at all, you know. So that's something that's telling, because these are not your base, these are overclocked, you know. So that's right there is telling, and that's, by the way, that is in 4K. Here's another benchmark. So this is from the game Borderlands 3 for those of you guys that ever played Borderlands. You know, and again, some more expressive technology. So now if you see right here, now this is really telling right here, guys. So you see this guy? So note, the 3080 is supposed to be a more powerful graphical processor. In this benchmark, the 6800 XT is beating it. Only beasted by the $1,500 3090 FE. This graphics card costs around $600. Let that sink in real quick, guys. You only got a 6-frame difference between these two cards. This one's $600 and this one is $1,500. So if you get in Borderlands, you're gonna want a 6800 XT, and the 6800 is holding its own too. You know, you only got a difference about 7 frames between the 3080 FE and the 6800, you know, and that's a $530 card right there. So that's not that bad, guys, at all. Like, it's really keeping up. The Division. So for those of you guys that play the Division, so you see them right here again. They're just keeping up. These cards are keeping up with the Nvidia stuff, man. This is only about a 8 frame difference, you know. So if you want a couple of extra frames, maybe, you know, but only 8 frame difference between the 3080 FE and the 6800 XT, you know. And then this is Final Fantasy. So this is where you take a little bit more of a dip. I think this one, I want to say some of these have ray tracing on. So now, this is what I've known about ray tracing on AMD cards. It's not that hot. Nvidia made tensor cores, where tensor cores is just for ray tracing. AMD does not have that same type of technology, at least not yet. You know, so, you know, still not that far, and yeah, you lose a little bit of lighting and stuff, but they still performing good. So again, here, look at Forza. So look at the benchmark, guys. Again, you see that 6800 right there, that 6800 XT right there with the 3090. There should be no way that this 6800 XT to be right the 3090 FE, guys, at all, at all. That's just amazing. And then you'll see right here his Tomb Raider, and this is another ray trace title, I believe. So you do see it suffer a little bit right here. So you see almost a full 10 frames drop between those two cards right there. You know, but you see all the cards. So notice like a lot of the cards was up in like the hundreds. You notice how they almost half now, even the $1,500 one. You see that? So ray tracing does take a performance hit off these cards because it does require a lot of stuff. And that's why if you guys had watched one of my earlier videos about a couple of months ago where we was doing the epic preview of Unreal Engine 5 and how they do ray tracing, and let me see, somebody, did you get the PS5 yet? We're actually going to talk about my adventures about getting a PS5 today, guys. But let's just say it's been real rough. But yeah, just like, they do take a performance hit, so they start dipping around 43 frames a second, 37 for the 6800. So but then if you look right here, the 37 where the 68 supposed to be competing against really is actually a couple of frames different. So not that big to be noticeable, but still, let's just call this a tie right here. Let's just call that a tie. But the proof's in the pudding, and these are third-party benchmarks. These are not AMD's or Nvidia's benchmarks. These are third parties. So that's pretty cool right there to see all this stuff happening like that, where the AMD Ryzen card is just keeping up with even the most expensive Nvidia card. So that's like really, really amazing, man. That's real great job by AMD to me. Now, there's a couple of things where AMD does fall short. Of course, we mentioned ray tracing. So AMD is not the best at ray tracing like Nvidia. Again, Nvidia has dedicated tensor cores, which is just made for ray tracing. AMD does not have such. Also, if you're doing stuff like I'm doing, streaming on a Keyse review, you want background deletion, which I tried background deletion, but I never did it because it just looks nasty and part of my face starts like blurring up and stuff like that. So I just, left my room. I just make sure to toss everything in the closet before my videos and stuff like that. But, they don't have that matrix platform. Nvidia do. Which is also comes down to when you're making professional videos. So if you want to get better hardware on professional videos, Nvidia will be a better way to go than the AMD Ryzen. Now, that being said, AMD just made Ryzen just for gaming. I do currently have a Ryzen in my computer, and it's pretty good because I believe I had, what was the frame buffer? I think I had 8. I want to say 8. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM on my current AMD card, and it's been running smooth for the most part. Only thing I just have a little bit of issues with the drivers moving my icons sometimes on the desktop, but outside of that, it's been silky smooth. It shows great. It's not a bottleneck on the system, anything like that. So you have that going for it too. Also, another thing that they have, if you heard about smart memory access or SMA, AMD has smart memory access, so that's another reason, and as well as in the Infinity Cache. So those two functions right there helps it keeps up with those Nvidia cards and faster in some cases, because with the Infinity Cache, kind of like that does exactly what it does. It catches information to send it to wherever it needs to send, and then smart memory access basically allows direct access to the RAM of the system of your computer, your main RAM at that. So with the PCIe 4, SMA, and Infinity Cache allows that great performance from AMD to keep up with a freaking $1,500 card, which is amazing. So you do have the advantages there. You just don't have, the best ray tracing on it. You don't have a lot of the great professional stuff with the AI, because AI processing, especially in professional fields like streaming, like video production, stuff like that. You won't have that. This is strictly a gaming card, but it's still gonna be good if you're on a budget, which is still, at least $500 for these cards. But if you don't want to spend $1,000 for a GPU to do professional stuff, the AMD Radeon might be good, as a cheaper option. But you will want to prefer to get the Nvidia card. because they have the tensor cores, they have the matrix AI learning and all that good stuff. So that's the difference, you know. Oh, what did I have right here? Oh, I had a B-roll. I was talking throughout that, just let you guys not see nothing, huh? So I have to call him back. But yeah, guys, that's AMD and versus Nvidia. So hey, I can't wait to see what more, man. These guys are going up against it. These guys are going against it, man. So next up, OnePlus. Now, are you guys ready for this? Let me get a drum roll, please. OnePlus is bringing the Nord to the United States of America. Yeah, baby, let's go. So, if you guys know, about a couple of months ago, I've been playing the Nord. So, this is a different version of the Nord slightly. This is modified, a little bit different stuff. So, you guys remember the Nord, which I was making a big deal out of. The Nord is about $500. And why? Oh, this went to screensaver mode for some reason. Oh, let me see. We got some people. Did I miss anybody's comments? Oh, Michelle says, wow, clear, nice video. Yeah, it's very, very awesome. But yeah, this is the OnePlus. So this one, instead of having 3 cameras, it's gonna have 4 cameras. So it's got 4 sensors on it. It also got a couple of other things, such as 5G. So in areas, which 5G is still not that big. I think I put in the ticker at the bottom where Verizon has the slowest 5G networks out, especially since they've been adding like different antennas and stuff like that. And no, Verizon's like the top wireless company in the world. And I just heard that T-Mobile, with the acquisition to Sprint, has leapfrogged AT&T. So it's supposed to be Verizon first, T-Mobile second, and then AT&T third. So I got AT&T, so I guess we're at third place, right? But yeah, so you have the warp charging on there, 5G ready, 90 hertz smooth display, quad cameras, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 120 gigabytes of storage, and dual speakers. I'm also hearing that the SoC, the silicon chip, or basically the chip that runs everything, is a little bit different. And of course, you see a little bit different camera outline, you know, slightly different material. I'm also hearing they didn't really release a lot of news on this. I've been checking out the media press sites and stuff like that, so they don't have a lot of news on this. So I have to give you guys more news as I get it. But note, it should be available. I think it's available now, actually, but you should be able to get a Nord 5G, or it's called, let me pronounce the name correct. It's going to be the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. A lot of words, but that should be available now for about $500, guys. So check it out, because honestly, I do believe the time of the $1,000 smartphone is kind of like only for power users and professionals and business users like me. I don't think that the regular consumer should be buying like $1,000 smartphone unless they really, really just like the feature. So, you know, it's great to see cheap phones, and not to say that they're, you know, like cheap, like they're gonna break easy or nothing like that, but it's good to see phones that are cheaper in price, that are still good quality phones that's available out there to the public and everything like that. So I really do believe that OnePlus is taking a great step, and that's always been their motto, to release good quality flagship like phones for a better price, you know. But I think it's awesome, and I've been pushing OnePlus a lot on my channel because I do really believe in OnePlus. And I do believe that they can be a top company in the world one day, which they in some countries they already are. India, OnePlus is huge in India. So let me see. Jania says it's about time, OnePlus. Yeah, they finally came with it. They finally came with it, man. So, you know, good job, OnePlus, on that. Good job. So, from OnePlus to the standard, as they like to call it, Samsung. So, there's been a little bit of stuff that's been going through the rumors. A couple of things have been going through the rumors. So, we've been hearing about the next Samsung phone, the new S21 is what I'm hearing is going to be the next name. and I've been hearing about the features. So you guys know that they start doing different stuff. So what Samsung's doing now is that they have their Ultra line, and the Ultra line is like the type line, depending on whatever field you're on. So the thing with the Ultra, from what I'm hearing, is that, and this is something I'm a little pissed about. I'm not going to lie to you guys from Samsung. They're saying that the S21 Ultra is going to have S Pen support. I mean, okay. So why am I booing that? So you guys know I still got these. I still haven't cleaned it off my desk. I got to clean my desk. But I had 2 Notes that I've owned for about 3.5 years. So I have my Note 8, and I might as well just take this cover off, even though the screen's all cracked up. But you have the Note 8, and then I had the Note 9. So the thing with the Notes is that you have what's called the S Pen. So at the bottom, let me put this over the side so I'll actually try to touch that over my Windows phone. So the thing with the S Pens, I mean the Notes, is that these was like supposed to be the flagships, and these came with the S Pen. So they have 2 different versions of the S Pen. Let me bring them out. So this one kind of like just works, by what's the word for it? I can't think about the word, but putting the closest screen on the 8, right? But this one actually has a little battery in it, and it charges and everything like that. And then it has a button. You can hit it to take pictures or, any other thing you wanted to do, right? That feature is going to be in the S20 Ultra from what the rumors are saying, if the rumors are true. So, to me, it's like, if you're going to start including the S Pen into the S line, why have the Note line at all? Like, I remember the Note line used to be the flagship. There was no question about it. The Note line was the flagship version for Samsung. And to tell me that you guys are going to be coming out with the S Pen on the S21 Ultra, like, that's kind of stupid to me. I really honestly think, I don't know what Samsung's doing, honestly. I think they're just kind of like running out of ideas for smart devices right now. I honestly think that we could be seeing the end to the Galaxy Note line, honestly, because if you're gonna start having the S Pen on the S20, there's no reason to have the Note line. And to be honest with you, the S20 line and the Note line is close, been getting closer and closer every year anyway. So if you get the pen onto the Ultra, I mean, there makes no sense to have the Note line, because basically the S20 is the Note. I don't think that Samsung made it made a great decision there. Let me see. Is the S line cheaper than the Notes? Not no more. They're not cheaper than the Notes. If they are, maybe by like $100. Let me see if I can look it up real quick for you, because I think they're about the same prices. Let me see. Celtics and Jason Tatum agrees to a contract. Ooh. NBA, if you guys like a big basketball fan like I am, it's an exciting time on the off season for the NBA. It's so much stuff going on. So much stuff. Like we lost Rondo though. We lost Rondo. We lost Dwight Howard. We did lose Rondo, but we did gain a couple of players. We got Schroeder, which is going to be exciting. So we got him in. And we got Wesley Matthews, so that's going to be cool to see, But anyway, that's for another thing, another day. Let me close that out. Let me go over here to, let me just type it in, Note 20 price versus S20 price. Actually, right on, I just put it up for all of us to look at. I'm over here typing it up on the Surface. Let's just go ahead and open up a Rare browser real quick, right? Let's just do that. So, Note, oops, 20 price versus S20 price. Because I think they're about the same prices. So if you look at them right here, just right here, you see the Notes. They're about They're going, look how much they dropped. So this is the base one that I was so mad about. $800 now. So they dropped about $200. Samsung Galaxy Note was 20. Tom's Hardware, so they should have it. So actually, look at this, guys. So the Galaxy S20 Ultra is actually, the starting price of it is more expensive than the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And then the screens are, look, the 20 actually got the better resolution screen. Even though this one has, dynamic 120 Hertz. So this one stays on 120 Hertz. Same processor, same RAM, same storage option. Camera's a little bit different. Front camera, look at this. S20 camera, 40 megapixels. Note 20 camera, 10 megapixels. Look at that crap. Look at it. This was what I was really pissed off about. Look at the battery life. Now, note, this is not a huge difference. It's only a difference of about 500 milliamp hours. But still, your Note line, which is supposed to be your premium line, gets a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, while the S20 gets a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And you have the option to add a 45 watt charger on that. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really? So, yeah, I honestly do think that Samsung eventually is going to get rid of the Note line. I don't see it being feasible for anything, honestly. Especially if they start getting the S21, the Note Pen, the S Pen. I don't see it being any type of any use to anybody for anything, you know. So I should have a Twitter post, I think, on here. So this is from Ice Universe. So Ice Universe is a leaker. And they had asked and I guess he's supposed to be like a real legit leaker, like he's guessed things right a few times before. So they asked him if the S21 can support the S Pen, and he says yes. I can 100% confirm that the S21 Ultra supports S Pen. So, hey, it is what it is, guys. I think that's another reason why I decided to go with the Surface Duo. Because I just wanted to go with something different, because I was like, I love the Note line. I really, really did love the Note line. But the Note 9 and the Note 10 and even the Note 20 was like, I mean, Note 9, the Note 10 and the Note 20, I should say. I just, especially with the Note 20, I just had like a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I don't know, man. I've been kind of cool on Samsung lately. I really, really have been kind of cool on Samsung. You know, I mean, more power to them if they make the S21 with the S Pen, but it's like, for people like me that came into the Note line, especially after the whole battery fiasco with the 7, I trusted them with the Note line and completely loved it. I completely love using the S Pen and everything like that. And, you know, you guys basically just like pushing it to the curve at this point, you know? So, you know, hey, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Jania has said, Samsung's been tripping. I'm about ready to kick them to the curve, LOL. Way too expensive and doing things that don't make sense. Exactly. Because for the prices, I mean, no, the Surface Duo with its dual form factor, and I can fold it, I can do almost whatever I want to with it, you know. I can, you know, put it in multiple positions and then close it. It looks clean. This is the more expensive one, and this is $1,500. The Note line just about starts off as that. And yeah, you can say, oh, the Duo don't have the better processor, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, that's true. But then we have to look at it. Samsung went up on the Note prices and the S prices without adding a lot of stuff outside of horsepower. You know? And a couple extra cameras. And you guys know I hate camera bumps. Like, people's like, oh, well, the Surface Duo don't take great pictures. I don't want it to take pictures. Like, yeah, I want to take a little quick picture that I can keep, you know, family, friends, blah, blah, blah. But if I want to take a real good picture, I'll go get a DSLR. I don't need a big, huge, ugly camera bumps. Like, if you guys look, even my Windows Phone, look how clean that is. That I'm using for my, I use for my notes to change the slides, I mean. So look, there's no camera bump on it, you know. If you look on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, there's really no there's no camera bump on it. If you look at the Samsung Note 9, barely a very slight camera bump, which don't even make a difference. You know, you can't even move it around the table. There's no camera bump. it's clean, you know. So what is Samsung really doing with these smartphones? Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what the heck Samsung is doing with these things, but it's their business, their company, but I can see them being overtaken. Either Apple's going to come back and take over first place, or OnePlus going to sneak up on both of them and say screw both of y'all pretty soon. Because especially with the COVID and everything like that, I'm pretty sure people's looking for great deals right now. And OnePlus now, the last couple of months, been trying to penetrate the USA market, and I think they're going to really do that with the I didn't do any of the notes on this one. I'll probably do it for next week. But the OnePlus 9, when the OnePlus 9 comes out, game on. So Samsung better figure out something, man, because I haven't been with Samsung the last few years, man, the last 2 generations. So anyway, that's my rant for today. That's Samsung. That is Samsung, because it's funny, because like people always say like, hey, Marquise, like, you always hate on Apple and this and the other. People don't watch my channel too often. Have I not gotten on Microsoft? I've gotten on Sony a couple times. I've Samsung, hello, proof's right here. It's like, just because I, have a product and love a product doesn't mean that I don't criticize them. Because if you guys don't think I don't criticize certain things, then you guys not really listening to me. I've always been critical of products, even the ones I love. Even with the Note Duo, I love the Note Duo. One thing that I think Microsoft got wrong on this: no wireless charging. Guys, it's like, man, I don't want to plug up this thing no more. Like, I just want to lay it on the pad and have it charged. Like, that's all I want to do with it. So I've been critical of Microsoft on that. So it's like, come on, guys. Like, I talk about these companies. Like, you guys must not watch my stream that good. Must not. But anyway, let's go on to the next subject of the day. And we got some Microsoft versus Sony. The Xbox versus the PlayStation. This has been as epic as Chevy versus Ford. As epic as the Lakers versus the Celtics. As epic as San Francisco versus the Dodgers. Like, this is good. Let me see. Tristan says, finally someone other than Apple. But I always ran it on people. Like, how much have I ran it on Microsoft lately over the Xbox? Like, really? Come on, bro. We rag on any company that needs to be ragged on, LOL. If they're messing up, then it needs to be said, LOL. Yes, exactly. The reason why I rag on Apple all the time is it's easy to rag on Apple because they're always doing stupid stuff. Like, the Apple's always doing stupid stuff all the time. And my boy David McClam, I love that dude to death. That's my brother from another mother. But man, he defended Apple through thick and thin. When I called him talking about the power, oh well, they didn't say. It's like, well, they didn't say. They didn't lie, okay, but then they didn't tell us the whole truth. They try to hide stuff in the fine print. Now, just to talk about Apple just got done with the courts giving up billions of dollars over the antitrust claims, Apple, and they just had to change their App Store policies for these other apps. Remember when I was talking about the apps, I haven't talked about it yet. I'll probably talk about that next week because I still got to get more information. But Apple did just lose a lawsuit. So, let's not talk about that Apple's a saint because they're not. Let's not forget about the whole antenna gate thing because that was a big thing. Let's not forget that Apple at one point was banned from the FAA because their cell phone batteries was exploding, just like the Samsung Notes that Apple people like to talk about. But Lord knows they get amnesia real quick. When Apple does something bad, they get amnesia and forget about all the stuff. So I don't want to hear nothing about me ragging on Apple. I rag about every company that I come in contact with where there's something stupid. So I don't want to hear it. Anyway, let's get to gaming. Let's go to this one, and we're gonna have a little B-roll play for you guys. But there's been a few interesting things about the PlayStation and the Microsoft Xbox Series X. So now I'm about to go a little bit rant on Microsoft right now. So just in case somebody says, I want you guys to take a time shot of this right now for the people that think don't be ragging on people. So everybody knows that Microsoft has been touting the Xbox Series X as the most powerful console on the face of the planet. Gaming console on the face of the planet. Oh, we got so much more graphical horsepower. Now, note, the only real thing they have is graphical horsepower. There's nothing else that's really more powerful than the PlayStation 5 as in terms of features, as in terms as throughput, as in terms of experience over the PlayStation 5. Like, Microsoft has nothing. Digital Foundry. So those of you guys know that I've mentioned Digital Foundry a couple of times. What they do, they go play games, they analyze it, they put it in software, they look at the game's frame by frames, all this good stuff. If the frame rate dropping, is the resolution dropping, all that good stuff, right? So Digital Foundry has tested out 2 games. Because we know we got both the Xbox Series XS and then the PlayStation 5, both the PlayStation 5s out, right? So they've been testing 2 games on them, third-party games. Dirt 5 and Assassin's Creed, right? So they tested out those 2 games. They said that at its worst, or actually I think I have it on the other video. Let's skip this one. And I guess I let it play right quick. But with all the powerful talks, we already know how the Halo disaster was. Like, first it wasn't a horrible looking video, but it wasn't the best looking video coming from the world's most powerful graphics or most powerful console, whatever they like to call it. So here's what Digital Foundry has said about the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. At its worst, we know that the PlayStation 5 delivering a 15% performance advantage over its Microsoft equivalent in identical scenarios. Which means that in certain types of games, in certain scenarios, in same scenarios on each system, the PlayStation 5 is delivering a 15% performance advantage over the Microsoft Xbox Series X. Now, note, when you're talking about graphical horsepower, so let's just dissect that real quick. So we know about the graphical horsepower, what we have is called compute units or CUs, right? Both systems have AMD chips in them. The PlayStation 5, as far as, I'm just going to talk graphics because they do have a couple of extra CUs too on both systems, but we're just going to specifically talk about graphics processing. The PlayStation 5 has about 38 CUs. The Xbox Series X has 52 CUs. Now, I did the calculations. I did look it up because I told you guys I was going to look that information up and see how many cores it has. So each CU has about 64 cores in it. So let's go ahead and do the math real quick. And I need to put the calculator on my screen because I don't use the calculator that much anymore. But let's just calculate it real quick. So if you're doing, and I wonder if my little thingy will work on here. Let me see, because I just linked up the phone to my my PC. So let me see if we can second phone screen it real quick. Display it on phone screen. Let me see. I just thought about this just now. Let me see if I can stream from my Duo. And instead of, there we go. Cool. Awesome. So let's go ahead and check this out. So 64, right? 64, we're going to multiply that by 38 CUs of the PlayStation. So that means that the PlayStation has 2,432 compute units. Now, let's go to the Xbox, right? So we're going to do the same thing, 64 multiplied by 52. So you got 3,328 CUs. So you got almost 1,000 different processors, cores inside of the Xbox Series X over the PlayStation, right? Roughly, give or take. That does not mean that stat alone makes it the most powerful. Everything together, when you're building a race car, you can put all the horsepower you want to in that race car, but if you don't think about the tires, if you don't think about the drivetrains, if you don't think about the transmission, if you don't think about the aerodynamics, it could be 5,000 horsepower for all I care. If you don't think about the other things, it's not going to go. Not as fast as the other cars, at least. It can have all the fast horsepower you want it to. This is the case with the Microsoft Xbox Series X right now. They put all the money on the graphical processor, but they really didn't spend time on making sure everything else okay. Because note, their SSD, people say, oh, the SSD doesn't matter, it's just for loading games. Note, maybe for the Xbox Series X, it's just for loading games, but on the PlayStation 5, that thing's fast enough to load like RAM, which means you can directly stream off the SSD without loading into RAM. It goes straight to the processor and the GPU. This is a huge issue for Microsoft right now because, you know, and I was watching MBG earlier this morning, and he was right. You know, there's been a lot of fanboys online saying that, oh, the Xbox Series X, like if you get the third-party games, it's going to be the best looking games, but if you playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it has about a 15% performance break in favor of the PlayStation 5, and it gets worse in Dirt 5. Like I should have pulled those video clips for you guys, because if you look at the PlayStation 5 version of Dirt and look at the Xbox Series X version of Dirt, like if you zoom into like the headlights, it shows the headlights as all blocky and stuff like that on the cars, and then on the PlayStation it shows like an actual car. That's a huge issue coming from the most powerful system in the world. The most powerful gaming console in the world. That's a huge issue. Wait, guys, there's more. See this? We got a tweet from this JoySense guy. So I guess this guy was doing latencies and stuff like that. Now, kind of take this one with a grain of salt. But this is what they had to say about that. Remember when low latency marketing from Xbox? Well, the DualSense is faster, so those competitive guys should take a look at this. Some preliminary tests, but seems to be clear that the DualSense has much less latency. Another example of overpromise and underdeliver. So let me see if this video works here. Let me see. I put a video here, and now all of a sudden this thing's like loading. May not work. And it might have just crashed. Maybe I'm trying to put too much into it. I've been crashing this thing a couple times, but at least this time it didn't just crash on a regular slide. Okay, let me go ahead and see what's going on with that software. Not responding. Let's exit. And the funny thing is, it worked perfectly fine earlier. Oh, at least it rebooted by itself. Okay, hold on. Open up my live episode 32, please. Let's go down to the set slide. I've been running and hammering on this sucker. Let me put back my office remote. That on. I got the light in my face, so I can't. Yeah, I think that's on. Okay, cool. Connection loss. Yeah. Go ahead and reboot it. Open up office remote. Connect to my computer. Yep. Open up that file, please. Cool. It's not acting like it did though. We got back quick, so that's a good sign. Okay, but we'll just bypass that video for now, or maybe if I can find it on the interwebs. What's happening now? Oh, there you go. Back. Actually, yeah, let me see if I can find out in the webs real quick. So let's go ahead and open back up the Rare browser just so I can show you guys real quick. Twitter. Let's go to the Twitters. The Twitters. Ooh, an F1 team? Yeah, let's go ahead and follow them. Daniel Ricciardo? Yeah, I follow him. I don't believe I don't follow them already. Anyway, so this is from LA. What was it? Alejandro. Let me see if I can go back on the other one. Let's go back to PowerPoint real quick. Alejandro 1979. 1979. So let me see if I can find that post. DualShock. Here we go. Let me turn up the web.
I filmed everything, and I found some interesting things. When I do these tests, I shoot it at 120 frames per second. I put it in a 24 frame per second timeline, and I count the amount of frames. It's not the most scientific way to gauge latency, but I work with what I have. I found that the Xbox controller is faster when you just hardwire it in, which is supposed to be the case. However, despite all of the cool sounding technical stuff that Xbox was touting, it turns out that the DualSense controller is actually way faster. And it's even faster when it's hardwired. It's mind-blowing. I'll note that gauging when the trigger was fully pressed down during these frames was pretty hard, but the DualSense controller's triggers have a longer travel. So if anything, that would have skewed the results in favor of Xbox, but it didn't. I'd like to see somebody do a more scientific test than this, but if latency's a big factor for you, maybe don't buy into Xbox's marketing, or do more research. The Xbox controller is supposed to have tests after I filmed everything.
That's that, guys. Yeah, it's like Microsoft always talk about this, and they talk a lot about their latency too, and all that good stuff. I think I just actually turned my mic down, did I? Because it sounds a little bit weaker, or maybe I need to get back in position. Yeah, so they always talking about their stuff, like, oh, our controllers have the lowest latencies and this and that and the other, blah blah blah. But honestly, man, it's like, I don't know, man. You know, PlayStation been looking a little bit better, and you got 2 third-party games which are AAA titles that performs better. You got the DualShock, which seemingly, again, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. You know, but seemingly looks like it does better. Man, like, why does Microsoft do this to themselves? Why do you guys do this to yourselves? Now, also note the whole fiasco of you guys. This is one thing I took out last week. I'll go over it real quick. But basically, Phil Spencer, who's the head of the Xbox division and all gaming division, has basically said that we don't care about games being available at launch. That's exclusive games. We don't care, right? We care about Game Pass. People want Game Pass, which, hey, I gotta admit, Game Pass is a great proposition. Like, man, you get all them games, about 100 or so games, or more now, because you're gonna get all the stuff from EA Sports and now the Bethesda titles. You're gonna get all those games for just $10 a month. But then here lies the problem. And this is the issue when you're doing with subscription-based services. No matter if you're doing, you know, a retail store subscription-based service for discounts on services, or if you're doing, like, you know, Netflix and stuff like that, that revenue has to be shared. And only so much percentage can be given out to so many people at once, you know? So when Game Industry Biz, the GameIndustry.biz had talked to Jim Ryan, who's the head of the PlayStation division of Sony Interactive Entertainment, this is what he had to say about it. For us, having a catalog of games is not something that defines a platform, Ryan says. Our pitch, as you heard, is new games great games. I love that part. He said great games. We have this conversation before. We're not going to go down the road of putting new release titles into a subscription model. These games cost many millions of dollars, well over 100 million to develop. We just don't see that as sustainable. We want to make games bigger and better, and hopefully at some stage more persistent. So putting those into a subscription model on day one, for us, just doesn't make any sense. For others, it's in a different situation, it might as well make sense, but for us, it doesn't. We want to expand and grow our existing ecosystem, and putting new games into a subscription model just doesn't sit with that. I have to very, very much agree with Jim Ryan on that one, because you have to think, especially with games, I mean, we're not talking about little games like The Fat Princess or Fortnite or even to some extent Call of Duty Warzone and stuff like that. We're not talking about those types of games. We're talking about, AAA games like The Last of Us. We're talking about, even though COD is a AAA game, but we're talking about Last of Us. We're talking about Uncharted. We're talking about God of War. We're talking about Gran Turismo. For those of you guys who have not played Detroit Beyond Human, oh my God, play that game, Detroit Beyond Human, please. You can beat the 10 hours, but it's very replayable because you pick the storyline basically. I totally agree with Jim Ryan on this one, because it's like PlayStation games is great enough to make money. Doing the Game Awards for Game of the Year, we got 3 games that's Game of the Year that's a PlayStation exclusive. One of them is The Last of Us 2. The other one's Ghost of Tsushima, and I forgot the third one. But you got 3 PlayStation games out the 6 that is going up for Game of the Year. So that's a 50% chance that Sony could be going with a game of theirs that is going to get an award, which is probably going to be The Last of Us, which is, I need to play more of that game. So I'll be happy for the break from the stream so I can play a little bit of games. And I'll probably still stream. I might still stream some, so I won't be completely gone from the stream. I'll just probably be doing other stuff and mix the music I want to mix for you guys so I can release some new music on here. But, yeah, it's like, you can't just say that, we're over here, the most powerful gaming system in the world, if your controller has more latency and your games doesn't show as great as it does on the PlayStation 5. And then you got that great I/O and that great SSD on the PlayStation side. Losing battle, man. Losing battle. So, that's what it is. Now, I told you guys I was going to talk about my my PlayStation stories. So, the PlayStation 5 released between the last video now. And I came close to getting a PlayStation 5. I came close about 6 times from getting a PlayStation 5. I'm talking about where it says place order page close, where all I had to do is press it and then I should get the PlayStation. All 6 times the website froze on me. Guys, it froze. Damn. Like, dude, like, man, like, I tried Walmart, I tried Target, I've tried Best Buy, I've been on Newegg, I've been on the actual PlayStation site. That's been 5 websites I've been trying to get a PlayStation 5. Cannot get a PlayStation 5, guys. So, they are going to release some more during Thanksgiving holidays. So, we still get another chance to get some more PlayStation 5s to order them. But I did get something because I budgeted for this, and I have, my savings account. I have money just automatically going to savings accounts and stuff like that, for certain stuff that I, just want to enjoy. I got the DualSense, guys. Check that out. I'm like, man, I'm gonna give me something, man. But yeah, I got the DualSense, so it kind of sucks because I ain't got nothing to play it. Like, you need the PlayStation to use it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna need the second controller anyway. That's already in my budgeting. It's like, might as well, because I'm gonna need the second controller. Now, they do have a lot of DualSenses, guys. They do not have a lot of the other stuff. The charging stations are sold out. The charging station, guys, think of it. The PlayStation 3 the PlayStation 5 so popular. The charging base is sold out. The charging base, the thing that you plop the controller on to charge, is completely sold out. I've checked, and you know I've worked in retail. I've even checked the direct stocks in places. Like, they're sold out. PlayStation 5s sold out. The Pulse headsets sold out. The only thing you can get at this point is a DualSense and an HD camera. Let me see. Janine Raya says, that's because you got people buying 5 PS5s from one household. Yes, and there lies the problem. That and scalpers. Because basically what's happening is that you get like a couple of people that I know that have them and their mamas all in one household, all buying PlayStation 5. And then you got the scalpers that set up the bots, so the bots go in, and you know, you can't be fast as a bot. You can't be as fast as a computer once it's programmed. It goes and buys up 1 million PlayStations and stuff like that, or Xboxes, or Nvidia cards, or AMD cards, and then they get them all shipped to wherever they need to get shipped to, and then they sew in a big old picture in their living room with all these freaking hundreds of products. But yeah, it sucks because it takes away from the people that really, really want to just enjoy them, and these fools want to mark stuff up to like $10,000. I think they marked up the Nvidia cards too. Somebody marked it up to like $75,000. And it's like, who in their right mind gonna pay $75,000 for a product that's like $1,000? If I had that much teeth in the game, I'll just go directly to the manufacturer and be like, hey, I need a graphics card. Or hey, I need a PlayStation. I'll get one. Like, I will get one if I got that kind of clout in that much teeth in the game. So it's like, come on. But anyway, going back to the DualSense. So this thing, it feels a little bit more refined, man. It's not so drastic away from the DualShock 4. Let me get out my DualShock, and I'll get the blue one because I like the blue color. Don't fall. I got PS3 controller falling. Yes, I still got the PS3, but let me see. I haven't done them, Hannah. You know what? That is a big different feel, actually. Never mind. I lied. You know what? The handles on this one feels like it spreads out a little bit more. This one feels a little bit more in. And the DualSense is not that much bigger. The weight, though, I can tell you, the DualSense is not a lot heavier, but it's definitely a few ounces heavier than the DualShock 4. And then you guys can see, you know, there's no light bar really right here. There's a little bit right there. But you can basically feel it, you know, you can definitely feel the difference, actually, now that I'm holding both of them at the same time. And then you got the PlayStation button right there. And then look at the lights that come on. Look how they do the lights. Watch this. Look. Ooh. It goes up and down. That's pretty cool, you know. And then the joysticks on this thing. I mean, the DualShock 4 was an excellent design. Probably one of the best controllers I've had. But when you're doing like round and stuff like that, it doesn't feel like silky smooth on the joysticks. The joysticks on the DualSense, guys, oh my God, silky smooth. I mean, they feel like silk, guys. It makes no sense. It's like really, really silky smooth on the DualSense controllers. And I just love the two-tone design. I know a lot of people didn't like the two-tone, but I love the two-tone design, guys. You have the mute button. Actually, let me see. I got to turn this light down because I think it's a little bit too bright when I'm putting white on here. Let's see. Let me just do a little bit down with the brightness. Okay. So you have your PlayStation button right here. So this is your home button. You have the the mute button right there. So you have the mute button, speaker. Of course, you have the touchpad right there. Of course, you got the two joysticks. Then at the bottom, you see the microphone port, and then you see the charging port with the headphone port in the middle of it right there. And then at the top, you have the USB-C charging port and sync port, USB Type-C, which I love, you know. And of course, you have these adaptive triggers, which it feels like, let me see. They do feel a little bit better, actually. They're a little bit more springy. But these are supposed to be adaptive, too. So these are supposed to be like, you know, as you pull it, like tension and stuff like that. And surprisingly, I've been hearing a lot of people that's been saying that Astro's Playroom is an amazing game. And no, Astro Playroom comes with the system, so you don't have to pay extra for it. But they saying that it is like amazing with that game, which is surprising. I'm talking about people that usually won't think about playing Astro's Playroom says that it's an amazing game. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's that for the basically the PlayStation. So, but yeah, man, I did get the DualSense controller, but still no PlayStation, man. So, still a little bit sad. But it is what it is. I will get one. I'm not worried about it. But that's the ranting I have for PlayStation and Xbox. So, hey, to be continued, guys. Right? All right. So for our last subject of the day, we're going to go Apple. I know there's about to be some arguments in the chat right now. But, you know, I had to go to Apple basically because they did reveal a few new products. So they revealed a new line of Mac computers, Macintosh computers. So they have released 3 computers, which is the Mac Mini desktop, the MacBook Air, and the MacBook Pro. So those are the 3 systems that has been unveiled. So we'll go ahead and start the slideshow and start it off with the Mac Mini. So no, these are all their Apple silicone power devices. So I have a few quotes here. Starting off with Tim Cook. Tim Cook has says the introduction of these 3 new Macs features Apple's breakthrough M1 chip, represents a bold change that was years in the making and marks a truly historic day for the Mac and Apple. Apple CEO Tim Cook. M1 is by far the most powerful chip we've ever created, and combined with Big Sur, delivers a mind-blowing performance. Excuse me. Actually, let me drink some water. I haven't drinking no water. Excuse me, guys. Where's that? M1 is by far the most powerful chip we ever created, and combined with Big Sur, delivers a mind-blowing performance, extraordinary battery life, and access to more software and apps than ever before. We can't wait for our customers to experience this new generation of Mac, and we have no doubt it will help them to continue to change the world. So, as you guys seen the pictures there, and I'll read off some text along with the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini is Apple's most versatile computer, and now with M1, it packs a staggering amount of performance and incredible new features which in such compact design. M1 brings an 8-core CPU with 3 times faster performance than the previous generations, dramatically accelerating the demand workload from a compelling a million lines of codes to building an enormous multi-track music project. The 8-core GPU delivers up to a massive 6 times increase in graphical performance, allowing the Mac Mini to tackle performance-intensive tasks like complex 3D rendering with ease. Machine learning workloads also takes a quantum leap with up to 15 times faster performance over the previous generation. And when compared to the best-selling Windows desktop in its price range, the Mac Mini is just 1/10 of the size, yet delivers up to 5 times faster performance. Mac Mini also features an advanced thermal design to sustain its breakthrough performance while staying cool and quiet, and support to up to 2 full displays, including Apple's Pro Display XDR in full 6K resolution, and Wi-Fi 6 for faster wireless performance, and the secure enclave in M1 for best-in-class security. With M1 and Big Sur, the Mac Mini represent a massive shift in what an ultra-small desktop can do. Far more versatile and far more capable than ever, the Mac Mini is now available for just $699, $100 less than the previous generation quad-core model. So that's that. $100 off from last year's model is not doing too shabby, you know. So, you know, honestly, gotta give Apple the credit right there. Saving people some money. I know David McClown gonna be happy to hear me say that. Now we're gonna go to the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air is Apple's, and I think I've done the slides so too fast. I think I did it like as 10 seconds. I should have made like 15, 20 seconds for each slide. Let's see. Let's go to the beginning of the MacBook Air, which should be. Actually, I can just pull up the slides. Let's see. It was this one. Can't see it, so it's not showing up. Okay, so this will be the next one after that. So we'll start with that, and I'll start reading off the Air stuff. The MacBook Air is Apple's most popular Mac and the world's best-selling 13-inch notebook. With the M1 chip, the MacBook Air speaks to everything from editing family photos to exporting videos for the web. The powerful 8-core CPU performs up to 3 times faster than the previous generation. With up to an 8-core GPU, graphics are up to 5 times faster, with the biggest leap ever for a MacBook Air. So immersive, graphic-intensive games run significantly higher at higher frame rates. Machine learning workloads are up to 9 times faster, so that apps that use machine learning-based features like face recognition or object detection can do so in a fraction of that time. The M1 chip storage controller and latest flash technology delivers up to 2 times faster SSD performance, so previewing massive images or importing large files is faster than ever. And in the MacBook Air, the M1 is faster than the chips in the 98% of the PC laptops sold in the past year. With the industry leading power efficiency of the M1, the MacBook Air also delivers this performance in a fanless design, which means no matter what users are doing, it will remain completely silent. And the new MacBook Air features extraordinary battery life with up to 15 hours of wireless web browsing and up to 18 hours of video playback. The longest battery life ever on a MacBook Air. So, you know what? More hand claps. So that's not too shabby right there, man. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got some more to read. So other new features in the MacBook Air includes Apple's latest image signal processor in the M1 chip, which includes camera image quality with better noise reduction, greater dynamic range, and improved auto white balance and machine learning enhanced face detection so that users can look their best during video calls. Support for P3 wide color resulting in an even more vibrant true-to-life retina display. The secure enclave of the M1 combined with Big Sur deliver the best-in-class security with features like Touch ID, which makes it easy to unlock the MacBook Air and make it secure online purchase using an Apple Pay with a touch of a finger. And Wi-Fi 6 deliver faster wireless performance while giving 2 Thunderbolt ports with USB 4 support allows for connectivity with a wide range of peripherals. With a sleek red shapes design, stunning Retina display, and matched keyboard and a silence level of performance, thanks to the M1, the new MacBook Air once again defines what a thin and light laptop can do. And still just $999 and $899 for education. Cool. Now we're going to get to the MacBook Pro. The 13-inch MacBook Pro is Apple's most popular pro notebook. Students use it to power through college, and the pros use it to channel their creativity. With the M1 chip and Big Sur, the 13-inch MacBook Pro becomes even more powerful and even more pro. The 8-core CPU, when paired with the MacBook Pro's active cooling process system, is up to 2.8 times faster than the previous generation, delivering a game-changing performance when compiling code, transcoding video, editing high-resolution photos, and more. The 8-core GPU is up to 5 times faster, allowing users to enjoy super smooth graphics performance whenever they are designing a graphics-intensive game or a new product. And the M1, the 13-inch MacBook Pro, is up to 3 times faster than its best-selling Windows laptop in its class. Machine learning is up to 11 times faster, and for on-device machine learning tasks that uses Neutral Engine, the 13-inch MacBook Pro is now the world's fastest compact notebook. With up to 17 hours of wireless web browsing and a staggering 20 hours of video performance, the MacBook Pro delivers up to twice the battery life of the previous generation and the longest battery life ever on the Mac. Other features in the new 13-inch MacBook Pro includes the studio quality microphones for superior clear recordings and calls, and Apple's latest camera ISP in the M1 chip enables sharper images and more detail in shadows and highlights on the video calls. The new MacBook Pro delivers the best-in-class security with secure enclave in the M1 and Touch ID, and it features 2 Thunderbolt ports with USB 4 support to continue more peripherals than ever, including Apple's Pro Display XDR and full 6K resolution. With its amazing performance and believable battery life combined with this gorgeous Retina display, magic keyboard, and 3-pound compact design, the new 13-inch MacBook Pro is the ultimate expression of what the M1 chip can do, and it's available for the same starting price of $12.99 and $11.99 for education. So, cool. Oh, a lot of words. So that's the Mac line. You got the prices right there. So you see, $699 for the Mac Mini, $1,000 for the MacBook Air, and then $1,300 for the MacBook Pro. They come with about 64 gigabytes of RAM. Now, the only thing is you cannot change the RAM in these. Now, I kind of understand for the MacBook Air, but the MacBook Pro and the Mac Mini, you should be able to change it and upgrade the RAM in those, you would think. But we'll see what Apple do. I'm sure they're already considering about it. But that's the information that I got from Apple. Not too bad stuff. I think the cool thing is that you'll be able to use the same apps as like you use on your smartphone onto the Apple machine. So that's Apple for you guys. So if you guys want to go out, get an Apple machine, get an Apple laptop, get the Mac Mini if you're looking for a desktop. You can even get it with the Pro display, even though I don't know why you would pay that much for a Pro display just to have a $700 computer connected to it. But it's there. You can use it. So that's Apple, guys. That is Apple. And that concludes our podcast, our live stream for the day. So that's pretty much everything, and that's why I named this I named this episode Tech Flex, because basically everybody was just flexing their power out there, man. And you can just see we can see everybody that's coming out with some great stuff and some great products. And even though if I don't like the company and stuff like that, or somebody else don't like the company, I mean, to do all this in COVID, we definitely got to give a hand clap to these companies, man. Definitely got to give a hand clap to these companies, So, but yeah, man, this has been nothing short of amazing, and it's cool that we still get some cool stuff, man. I still got to try to chase down a PlayStation 5, because I've had this controller for about almost 24 hours now, and I'm already sick of looking at it without doing nothing. But hopefully I'll get a PS5 hopefully before my last episode of the year, because we will take off the last couple of weeks, break time and stuff like that, but we're definitely enter into a great year, I think, guys. A lot of things gonna be awesome, I think, and it's been kind of crazy to deal with this COVID and stuff like that and all the other crap that's been going on in the world. But hey, man, at least we got these tech companies, man, that's giving us what we want. And we can't complain. We really can't complain, man. I mean, the biggest thing I can take out of all this today is that we have choices no matter what. So you got choices to no matter what you do and stuff like that. So it is what it is. And yeah, we hopefully you guys get some of this tech too, and I'll definitely be working on my stuff over here, man, because I'm a huge nerd, and it's like no matter if it's like computers or TVs or cars or whatever like that, I love technology, man. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest and the rest of the year, because we still got a couple more stuff to do, still got a couple more episodes for this year. So yeah, we definitely gonna be hitting it up. But anyway, guys, Thanksgiving week, I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we'll definitely see you soon. See you next week. So hope you guys all stay safe. Make sure you wear your mask, make sure you pay attention to the laws, care about your neighbors, man. Wash your hands often, all that good stuff that I usually say. So anyway, I'm about to sign off, everybody. My name is Marquise. This has been the Keyse Review live. See you guys next week. Peace. Laters. One.
Put a spell on you. Do what you do what I do. Yeah. I wanna put a spell on you. I do. I wanna put a spell on you. Do what you do what I do. Yeah. I wanna put a spell on you. Do what you do what I do. I wanna put a spell on you. Do what you do what I do. Yeah. Spell on you, 'cause you're mine. You better stop doing the things you do.
Sangre nativo y europeo mi raíz, con cruz y pluma en la mano, te saludo, camarada. Soy de dos mundos, soy hombre marginal, los antepasados nos dejaron un mural de gente blanco y café, rojo y negro.
Esta canción se escuchará en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América.
Vivo en pueblito y vivo en la ciudad. Soy campesino y soy profesional. Soy indio de las montañas, los desiertos, la reserva. A mis hermanos que fueron a luchar a tierra extraña por paz y libertad, a los que sacrificaron les doy gracias.
Esta canción se escuchará en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América. Esta canción se escuchará en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. estado en esta tierra mucho antes de que las fronteras existieran. Siglos de colonialismo, opresión y destierro nos empujó al exilio económico. Y todavía tratando de sobrevivir en este país, somos presas de persecuciones, racismo y división. Nobody standing up, ¿dónde están los líderes? Nobody standing up, ¿dónde están los líderes?
Quiero un nuevo horizonte, de ahí seguimos pa'lante, camarada.
Esta día tan bonita, yo me siento bien. Yo te traigo una medicina para ponerte en el alma, escuchen.
Yo quiero un nuevo horizonte,
Ahí nada más.
de ahí seguimos pa'lante, camarada.
La bahía de San Francisco, linda tierra en donde nací. Por sus calles llena de ritmo lo que es la salsa rica. Aprendí.
Yo quiero un nuevo horizonte, de ahí seguimos pa'lante, camarada.
Mestizo chicano, unos me dicen mexican americano. No te confundes porque todos somos hermanos.
Esta canción se escuchará
Lo que te digo es la verdad.
en la voz de América. Mi corazón la cantará. Soy la voz de América. Esta canción se escuchará
Soy americano,
en la voz de América.
de los Estados Unidos,
Mi corazón la cantará.
de México,
Soy la voz de América.
del Caribe,
Soy la voz de América.
de Centroamérica,
Soy la voz de América.
de Suramérica.
Soy la voz de América.
Soy americano.
Can you bounce? Then bounce on this.
Do it like this. Handball, where you been? Round the world and back again. Handball, where you been? Round the world and back again. Handball, where you been? Round the world and back again. Say handball, where you been? Round the world and back again. Come on. bouncing. I'm bouncing.